y'all, good morning. It's Wednesday today. I thought I would go ahead and hop on and just get this Q&A started. I meant to do this yesterday, completely ran out of time. I got home at like 9 o'clock and just didn't have it in me to film a Q&A or upload, and I knew that if I filmed it and didn't upload it, I would probably watch it back and be like, you look tired, like you're not gonna upload this. So I decided to just hold off for a day. We're just skipping that day of Vlogmas, and today will be Vlogmas day 8. Is it day 8? I can't remember now. I think it's day 9. Yeah, today's Vlogmas day 9. So we're doing a Q&A. I've read a few of the questions. I will get to all of them, but I read a few before I left the house, so I just wanted to have something to talk about. So don't worry, I'm hands-free, focused on the road. But let's jump in. So the very first question I got was, did I go to Texas Tech University? And that person said that they live in Lubbock, and the answer is yes, I went to Texas Tech. I think some of my new followers might think that, or like subscribers, I hate the word follower. Some of my new subscribers, I think, might think that I went to LSU, or that I'm like a diehard LSU fan. And it's not that I don't like LSU, but that is where my boyfriend went, and they unfortunately have a way better football team to watch on TV. So yeah, I'm only really a LSU fan by proxy, but I did go to Texas Tech. That is my team, love them to death. Our games are just not as interesting, so we usually watch LSU. I graduated from Texas Tech in 2016. So I had several questions about Morgan. How did we meet? And we met on Bumble, actually, the dating app. So that's how we met. We ended up meeting for a wine night, and then that was like St. Patty's Day weekend was the weekend that we met. So this year in March. And then also, how long have we been together? We are trying to figure out our like exact anniversary, but we know it's the first week of June. Since then, we have been, in a serious relationship. So I guess at the end of December, it'll be like 7 months. But we've pretty much, I met him in March, and there was only like a week and a half that we weren't basically dating anyways. So take that for what you will. But yeah, about 7 months. I think we're going to use early June as like our official anniversary. But yeah, things are going great. I love that guy. I feel like I've known him forever. And yeah, things are good. So moving on. One of the questions was, what is the hardest part about weight loss? And what do I do when everybody else is like eating, indulgent food and stuff like that? So I think the hardest, I should have thought about this. I think actually the hardest part about weight loss is figuring out how to balance it with your social life. If I'm home, I don't have any issues. I can eat exactly as I've planned. I can get creative with my recipes. I can just easily stay on track because I know what I'm eating, and I've stocked my house filled with stuff that is good for me and good for the plan. So that's the easy part, and I agree. The hardest part is definitely those social situations. And honestly, okay, so when I started Weight Watchers, I was living in Lubbock. I was still in college. It was my last semester of college, actually. I graduated in December, so it was that fall when I started. And, sorry, I need my sunglasses. I don't know where they're at. Okay, they are. So yeah, I started in that fall. And really the hardest part was balancing it with my friend group, because we like to go out, we like to go get drinks. We have this restaurant that we love to get pizza at. Like, we have a Mexican restaurant that we would constantly go to for margaritas and chips. Like, it's hard. What really helped me the most, and what like eventually my friend group kind of agreed on, was we would go usually out to our friend Amanda's house, because she had like the biggest house of all of us, and we would cook dinner. And we actually did this before. I'm talking about Amanda and Rex's house. We did this before Amanda even moved in with Rex, but not the point of the story. We would go over to somebody's house, usually Amanda's, but we popped around to all of ours. Someone would cook dinner, usually something really healthy like zucchini lasagna. We would do like cauliflower crust or zucchini crust like pizzas. Amanda makes a really good spaghetti squash with meatballs in the crock pot. I need to get that recipe exactly how she makes it for y'all because it is so, so good. And I know that y'all would love it. So I need to get that. I've been meaning to talk to her about that recipe. But I want to make that. And anyways, not the point. So what made it easier for me was kind of getting my friend group on board. They knew that I wanted to lose weight. Amanda at the time was trying to lose some weight as well. And really no one in our friend group was like, no, we have to go eat crap food and drink crap drinks. Like nobody was like that. And I feel like hopefully you have good friends that would agree. And really, you're just there for each other's company, whether you're sitting at a restaurant out somewhere or you're at someone's house eating a healthy dinner and like having a couple glasses of wine. That's going to be way better than 2 16-ounce frozen margaritas and bottomless chips. You know what I mean? So that really helped, was like having my friend group kind of on board, and any of our things we would sort of revolve it around making a healthy recipe that everyone could like. Taco soup was one of our go-tos. We would always do taco soup. That, and I'm trying to think what else we would do, but you get the idea. So getting your friends on board, you know, skip the meal out and of, you know, margaritas or whatever your meal out of choice usually is, and just go to someone's house and have a little like dinner party, if you will, just like a hangout or a wine night. You can even host if you feel like your friends aren't really, you know, offer like, hey, do y'all want to come over? I'd love to cook a dinner, and do it on a Saturday night so you're not tempted to go out. That was really helpful for me. That being said, with social situations, with holidays and vacations and celebrations, I just did what I wanted to do. You know, I didn't hold back on my graduation or any of my friends' graduations. We all pretty much had parties where there was food and, you know, barbecue or whatever. And I just did it. When I go on vacation, I just eat what I want to eat. When it's the holiday, I just eat what I want to eat on that holiday. And I think for me, that makes it super sustainable. Those few days a year aren't going to make or break you. It's all of the days in between. So think about that. When you think about the percentage of actual days that you'll be like celebrating something, it's really small compared to every other, you know, day of your life. So yes, that would be the answer to that question. Someone asked what my starting weight was. My starting weight was 215. I used 215 even because that was the last, that was the first time I weighed myself, because right before I started Weight Watchers, I actually did the whole 30, which was really like the whole 13. Like I only made it 2 weeks and I was like, I can't, I hate this so much. So, I quit that and then watched a video by Shelly's Home Life, who has since deleted her channel, but she started Weight Watchers. I'm obsessed with her, so then I started Weight Watchers. But the whole 30 tells you not to weigh, and I don't know why I didn't. I should have just weighed. But when I weighed in after, and I know that I lost weight because I had a pair of shorts that wouldn't button at the beginning of that 13 days, and they buttoned fine at the end. So I knew that I had lost a lot of bloating, most likely some water weight. You know, pounds had been lost, but at that weigh-in, I weighed 215. So that's the starting weight I use. I think that it was definitely a little bit higher. I just don't know how much. 2 pounds, 5 pounds. I have no idea. So we go with 215. Let me see if I can think. I read like several. I'm trying to think if I can think of any of the other ones so we can knock out a few this morning. Somebody asked what my full-time job is. So I work...
Sir, stay in your lane. Get any closer to me.
So I work for a construction company. We build hotels, like a specific hotel. I'm just on the construction side, not on the side of like, you know, like the hospitality side, the operations side. We're on like the beginning side. We're building it, we're remodeling it, that kind of situation. So I do work for a hotel chain in that sense. And I mainly do like contracts. So, you know, you have to send out contracts, like you agree on this price and this work and we need your insurance, etc., etc. So I create those, send them to the subcontractors, get all that situated. I do a lot of things, a lot of like office administration, random stuff. Like I have a group of like 25 guys that I put in their payroll every Monday. I send up credit card bills for everybody with a company credit card. Like we'll have a group of people, so my group turns in their receipts to me and I send them up to basically would be like our other corporate office, because we have two, and just kind of like random office stuff. Sort of my dream at the moment would be, because y'all know, some of you know, I started my real estate courses and I never finished them. I still have them. I'm able to finish. I just haven't, because work got crazy, life got crazy, and I kind of just felt like I couldn't do it part-time like I thought that I could. Like there's just no way that I could have done it. So it's on the back burner, but ideally if I could eventually in a year or 2 years or however long, get to the point where I make enough money on YouTube, not enough to like support my life completely, but enough to, you know, kind of build up my savings a bit and hold me over a few months where I could jump into real estate full time, be able to really give it my full attention. That would be ideal. So in a few years, I would like to be able to move, transition into real estate full time. Still the dream. It just isn't going to happen exactly how I thought. And I think I'll feel way less stressed knowing, okay, this is what you have. Like, this is your job. This is what you do from 9 to 5 now. You are a real estate agent. You're a realtor. This is what you do. I don't think I could have managed it with my current job. I can hardly manage getting YouTube videos up with my current job. It's not even like that. It's just that I have a job, like a 40-hour-a-week job on top of, I would say I put in, a lot of hours on YouTube. There's always something to do. Thumbnails, graphics, video editing, filming, responding to comments, keeping up on Instagram with Instagram messages. Like there's always something I could be doing. So it in itself can feel like a full-time job. So I just don't think I could add yet another job. But real estate is the dream. I do currently work for a construction company. I actually work for the same company that my dad works for. So I moved from Lubbock to here, and I didn't want to continue doing what I used to do, and it just kind of worked out that I could work there. So I do. But yeah, that's all of the, are you taking a left, bud? No, okay. That's all the questions that I can remember at the moment. This is gonna be a long Q&A, sorry guys. But we'll pick this up after work at some point. I was gonna wait and do them all together on the couch later, but I'm worried again, I'm not going to have time to do that tonight because I've got to go out. I got to pick up my mom's groceries, go out to my mom's house. We're going to have dinner together, probably cook dinner together. And then hopefully if Morgan feels better, I'm going to go out and see Morgan. I haven't seen him in a few days. He's just been feeling really sick with the sinus situation. I already have allergies so badly that I don't need to catch any sinus situation, and he has been going to bed really early because he's just feeling awful. So hopefully I'll get to see him today, but I just don't know that I would be able to sit down and film a full Q&A, so I gotta do it while I'm moving and grooving on the way to work. I really want to sip of this water so bad right now, but I left it in my car overnight, and I just remembered that it's a carbonated water, not regular water, and I'm not gonna drink that. It would be gross. But I'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
Who are you?
Okay, y'all, so we're back to the Q&A. It was 2 seconds for you, but it was like 4 hours for me. So, more questions. Okay, so I get this question a lot, and I find it funny that people get so hung up on it, because I'm like a lot of people do this. People want to know why I named my channel Louise Lane when my name's Lauren. Okay, it's like a screen name, right? Like a lot of people do that. Like I talked about a channel that I like, being Beauty from Ashes. Her name isn't Beauty, obviously. Like, you know what I mean? It's just different. So the reason why I named my channel that and not Lauren Stevens, which is my real name, is because I didn't want people Googling me and the first thing they see is my YouTube channel. I didn't want that. And I don't want that. I will never want that. it's not that I'm embarrassed if people find it, but I don't want it to, for the people that I know in real life or future jobs or anything like that, like it's just not, I don't want to put my diet as the forefront of who I am, you know what I mean, in the way that I eat, because that's a lot of what my channel is meal prep and dieting, etc. So that's why I used a name that's not my own. It really stemmed from, I don't want random or like anyone from my hometown to just easily find it, you know. Like I said, it's not a big deal if they do. I know people from my hometown who have found it mainly because they find my Instagram, which is not private. And so if they follow me, a lot of my like good friends follow both accounts, so that it gets suggested to other people. I'm sure they can tell by the thumbnail that it's me. That doesn't bother me, but that's kind of what it stemmed from. I didn't want to just be Googled and my YouTube channel pop up first thing, because it's under the same name. Louise Lane, that came, so my name is Lauren Louise. Louise is my middle name, and Louise Lane came from a few years ago. Me and Georgina, y'all know her on YouTube, Gina Ross, we were like out to lunch or something, on our lunch break at work or at dinner, I can't remember, but we were at some chicken place, Slim Chickens, and we were sitting there, and I was wanting, at the time, I just got my Cricut, and I really wanted to start making signs, like really huge signs, specifically for weddings, and like personalized and custom signs. So I sort of had this dream of like a small business, but I needed a name for it. And so we were trying to think of something cute that's sort of like boutique-y, and just kind of cute. I knew that I wanted part of my name in it, and I usually lean towards using Louise, just because I feel like it's a little more unique and like glamorous than just Lauren. And so that's where Louise, we were trying to think, and I knew I wanted a double L. I like alliterations, I guess. And so I wanted, Lauren Louise. My sister is Anna Alexandria. That's kind of like a thing in our family. So I wanted it to be the two L's, but I didn't want to use Lauren Louise. And I'm literally looking up L's on Google, like list of L words, and we're going through like Louise, blah, 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 this Louise, like back and forth. And I found Lane, and I was like, Louise Lane. And she was like, yes. And it just was born. So Louise Lane is just like, I don't know, an alias of some sort. I don't really know. But yeah, and I like that I feel like it's cutesy and boutique-y, and it could be something else eventually if I ever wanted it to be something. But I didn't want it attached to my like first and last name, like my YouTube and stuff, because ideally I will have a real estate career someday, and if they're Googling me as a realtor, I don't want my YouTube to be the first thing to pop up. I would like my other, stuff to pop up. So that's why I use screen name. That was a 5-minute explanation, but there you go. If you're curious, I get tons of questions about that, like a lot of questions. Ooh, okay, so somebody asked about my grocery budget. Do I have a monthly grocery budget, and what is it? So I do budget. I'm trying to get better at this. This is gonna be something I'm really focused on in 2020. And I've tried to be really focused on it the last couple of months. But my grocery budget, kind of depending on what I already have at home, those weeks or whatever, if I have lots of leftovers or not, or if I had freezer food that I didn't get to, that kind of thing. It depends, but I aim on like a tight month to do like a tight, paycheck. So every 2 weeks, do like $60 a week. So 120. So I guess my grocery budget for one person is $240. It's a lot. And it shouldn't be that high, but I just like food, so I can't help it. Also, that includes like paper towels, toilet paper, stuff for Hutch, food, all of that kind of stuff too. But shampoo, like I include all of it together. But on like a average, like I'm not trying to go, I'm not trying to spend a lot of money, but I'm just, not thinking about it. Usually it's like 80 a week. So like, that's like a higher week for me is 80. So once, max, we're looking at like 320. So anywhere from 240 to 320. I know it's not a great budget, but on a cheap, good, frugal week, I'm spending less than $60 at the grocery store. Sometimes it's even $40. If I could get like every other week, I'm at like a $40 grocery trip, that would really help my budget a lot. So I need to definitely crack down. But yes, that is my grocery budget. Somebody asked about real estate, which I already kind of covered earlier. Yes, I still want to get my real estate license. Yes, I'm still doing the courses. It's just kind of postponed because there are a lot of fees that come with real estate, and I'm just, one, not prepared to pay those right now, and two, I just don't have the time for it to be a part-time job on top of a full-time job when I already feel like I have a part-time job with YouTube. So real estate is still a thing, just the timeline is a little bit different than I had originally imagined. Okay, so another Morgan question. Somebody asked if we'll be engaged soon. I don't think so. We're not quite there. Are you trying to get in front of me? I can't tell. Yeah, we're not quite there. We haven't even hit our year mark, so you know, don't get too excited. It's quite a ways away. And then where in Texas do I live? So I live in San Antonio. Yeah, that's where I live. I grew up in New Braunfels, which is a city just north of San Antonio. My parents still live in the same house that I lived in when I went to high school. So but they lived a little more south. So I live even more south than that in San Antonio. I work in San Antonio as well. I got a few questions also about staying on track, tracking on vacation. So as far as how do I stay on track or get back on track, that was one of the specific questions. How do I get back on track, after cheat meals, indulgences, vacations, or whatever. So for me to get back on track, what I think is the easiest thing is I plan for that week. Like, those meals are going to be like my favorite meals on WW. My comfort food meals, my meals that feel like I'm cheating, but I'm not. So it might be 2-ingredient dough pizza. It could be taco soup or like a chili. Those things are always like really delicious to me. And I always feel like satisfied. Maybe my chicken enchiladas that I've made on my channel before. Things like that it like doesn't feel hard because I love eating those things. So that helps me a lot. So definitely do like a 0-point chili for lunch, and then plan like your fave dinners, like do enchiladas one night, or like the zucchini lasagna bowl or something like that. That helps me get back on track always, because I feel like I'm still eating the stuff that I love. I'm eating filling food, and it kind of eases me back into tracking points. As far as tracking on vacation, no. The person said like specifically like a 2-week-long cruise. Heck no, girl. I am not. I might, just for the sake of like not feeling sick eating so much and eating all the good stuff, maybe like one meal making sure that I eat like a fresh salad or just like some chicken breast with veggies, just kind of making sure at least one meal, not tracking it. It probably has oil, but at least it's not, all like super fried food or tons of dairy, just so like my body feels good and I don't end up feeling like sluggish and gross on vacation. But heck no, I would not track on vacation. Y'all saw my Florida trip, or maybe you did if you saw those videos. And I did better. Like, I got my typical snacks, but I wasn't really 100% tracking. I was just trying to do better than I usually do on vacation, and it worked, as I didn't really gain a lot of weight. It was mostly just water. Like, I lost it like the following week. And I felt good. Like, I was still like indulging at dinner, but I was eating pretty healthy breakfast and lunches because we were eating in the condo for that. So that's what works for me. And then another person said, how do you like keep your motivation, and that they're really struggling. For me, a lot of people will say like, you won't always have motivation. You have to have like willpower, determination. That is definitely true. You have to just like want it so badly that even when you don't feel like doing it, you still have that underlying drive to just like do it. Meal prep helps because I already have the food made. Why wouldn't I eat it at that point? I already have it planned. It takes no thinking. It takes no extra work to just eat what I planned on Sunday. So that helps. But as far as like specific motivation, where do I find it from? How do I keep it? Starting my Instagram, my WW Instagram, was a huge game changer. It keeps it at the forefront of my mind. It's the Instagram that I'm on all the time. I check my personal one like 2 or 3 times a week. Hardly ever though. Like, I'll go to my personal one to like post my like photos of like myself and my friends and my boyfriend. But I keep it private, and I just have like people that I know in real life on there. I'm almost always on my WW Instagram, and I save recipes from it. I've made, I chat with people about friends and ideas and struggles and successes and all of that. And it just kind of keeps it at the forefront of my mind because I can keep all of those recipes together. I only follow WW accounts or some sort of, healthy lifestyle. I've started following a few budget accounts on there, like debt-free accounts, things like that. Just things that kind of keep me in that mindset. That has been like a huge game changer. And some days I'm just sucked into it, and it's probably not good to be on my phone as much, but I am really like specific about who I follow. And if I feel like I'm seeing this person post a lot of just like negativity, I'll just unfollow them. Obviously I want to see your daily struggles because a lot of us struggle with that too, not having motivation all the time. That's definitely a thing. But if it's all somebody talks about, I'm going to move on. Like I want to see your ups and downs. I want to see, even your highlight reel, even your best ideas. I think that's what I'm there for. But if it's just a lot of like, oh, another gain, can't keep on track, hate myself. Okay, like I don't want to see that all the time. I'm there for you to encourage you, but if that's all you post, I don't want to be there. So just be selective about who you follow. Even if you just keep your account private, you don't even post anything, but you're able to follow all of them sort of in one spot. And Instagram makes it really easy. You can hop between your two accounts, your personal account and your WW account. You can keep it completely anonymous. You don't even have to post anything. You can just keep that account solely for following WW accounts to get ideas and Transformation Tuesday motivation, things like that. So I think that was a huge game changer for me. And I like to cook, so just trying new recipes, looking at new recipes keeps me motivated as well. That's all I can think of at the moment. Oh, Amanda Lewis asked me if I could decorate anything, what would it be? I don't know if she means, I assume she means like interior design wise, like what I want to decorate, like what would I want to do. Like in a dream world, some like huge mansion, like I would be like an interior designer for people that live in like massive houses. That would be awesome. I just love like home stuff in general. If I had all the money in the world, it would all go to my house, like all of it. I have calmed down a lot this year on the home decor, like a lot. It's also probably because me and Georgina are now separated. We are 7 hours away from each other, and that has really helped our budgets because we used to go to Home Goods together and just fill the cart, and we would leave spending $100 every time, and we would do that like sometimes once a week. Like it was bad. We had a problem. So I've really given it a rest, and I've tried to clear stuff out, stuff that I don't need. My apartment's not big enough to have that, constant shopping. But I just love decorating homes. Like I love it. Also like weddings. Y'all know I love like event planning and stuff. I feel like that would be really fun to do, like wedding venues, and be like, I had this dream of like being a wedding planner at one point. Me and my friend wanted to open like a dress shop, and we had dreams of like a venue. Like I've had a lot of entrepreneurship dreams in my life, and so definitely like things that are wedding related. I love making the signs and making things super personable, customizing things, flower arrangements. Like I love all that kind of stuff. So that is probably what it would be. But I'm about to go check on the puppy, so I'll check for some more questions probably right when I get there, try to breeze through the rest, and we'll call this Q&A a wrap because I think it's going to be like 30 minutes. But I like being able to take time on your questions so that if you were somebody that asked me a question on Instagram, you get a full-on answer, not just like a one-word quick answer. So anyways, I think that's all I've got for now. I'm currently drinking the beloved carbonated water. This is the lemon. I have the lime at home, the lemon at work, and I have the orange in my backseat right now. Okay, so this is the last leg. I went ahead and wrote down the few questions that I missed. So, the vacation question, I thought it was asking, do I track on vacation? And it was actually asking how to stay on track on vacations, specifically a 2-week-long cruise. Girlfriend, I don't know. I think, I've never been on a cruise, so I don't really know what your food options are, but I think it's like buffet style right? My parents have been on cruise, but I never have. I would say just try to get in a lean meat and a vegetable with every meal. Maybe pick one meal a day or every other day that you're really going to indulge on, and then the rest of the time try to stick to like lean meats and protein and vegetables. Maybe have like fruit for breakfast if you're not a huge breakfast person as it is. Keep like a black coffee with some half and half, and if they have like a sugar-free syrup for your coffee instead of getting like cappuccinos or whatever they have on cruises, I don't know. But honestly, just don't stress. You want to remember that vacation as like a fun time with family or friends, not as you were stressed because you're trying to figure out what you can and can't eat. I really wouldn't stress about it too much. All of us on a weight loss journey, it didn't take us 2 years to get to our starting point. Or 2 years. It didn't take us 2 weeks to get, to that high weight or whatever that we're trying to get away from. So 2 weeks really aren't going to ruin you. Sure, you'll probably have a larger gain when you get back, but a lot of it's going to be bloat and water weight, and it will be easy to get off in a couple of weeks. So I just wouldn't stress about it, honestly. A cruise sounds like a blast. I wouldn't really track at all. So that's my advice. Is there anything I don't track and why? Yeah, I don't track a coffee creamer. So the whole reason that I started that was because I got my gallbladder out, and things that are dairy started really irritating my stomach, and the only non-dairy creamer that I've liked is this Coffee Mate one that's like, I don't know, 1 or 2 points a tablespoon. And I just felt like, okay, I'm not going to waste a ton of points on this creamer, but it's the only creamer that I like, and it's driving me crazy, so I'm just going to stop. It's only, even when I have 2 cups a day, it's only like 120 calories. So in the grand scheme of coffee, it's not that bad. And it really, once I started that, it never affected my weight loss. I was still able to lose just as quickly as at the same rate that I was losing before. And it gave me like my peace of mind knowing that I could have something that I liked and that I needed for my stomach without having to stress about using like 4 points just on coffee alone. So that's why I did that. I know some people choose like not to count avocados or ketchup or like random stuff like that. I use sugar-free ketchup, but I usually don't count it because it's sugar-free, and on Simply Filling, which is basically the purple plan, it was free. So I don't count that, but I don't use ketchup all that often. But yeah, pretty much coffee creamer is the only thing that I don't track. Like I even track my Bolthouse Farms Ranch, or track pretty much every other condiment. I just don't track the creamer, and it just gives me my sanity. Now that I've like come so far, I don't know that I could switch to a different creamer that is dairy if it would be okay now, but I don't really feel the need to. I really like the one that I use. I think it tastes good. It goes with like every coffee. So yeah, that is what I do. And then I think everyone has their thing. If there's something really specific that you don't go overboard on, and it just is like a point killer for you, delete it from your points, and then just see in a week or two if you're still able to lose without having to count those points. Okay, the last question is, am I on Lifetime, and why did I choose the purple plan? So no, I haven't reached Lifetime. I haven't reached my goal yet. I weighed in today at 153.9, which is a pound higher than I was the last time I weighed, which was at the beginning of November. Not that worried about it, honestly. And I want to be down to 145. I guess technically that would be reaching Lifetime, but I don't know that you reach Lifetime if you're just online. So whenever I reach 145, that's like that's been my goal forever. I might want to lose more once I see myself at 145. I might feel good. I might, a lot of things could change, but that's kind of like the I did it moment is when I reach 145. So I'm about 9 pounds away at the moment. And I've pretty much just decided I'm going to be in like maintenance mode until the new year starts, because my birthday is next week. Then I have Christmas, then New Year's. Like, I'm not going to stress myself out trying to lose weight at the like hardest time of the year. I'm just going to maintain, and that's what I've chosen to do. And then why did I choose purple? So I chose purple because I wanted to try something that I'd never tried before. When I started Weight Watchers, the green plan was like their current plan. Like the current green plan now was the Weight Watcher plan back then. and I had great success on it. Then it switched to freestyle and I adjusted and I was able to lose on freestyle, which is now the Weight Watcher blue plan. So the purple plan, which is loosely the Simply Filling plan that's basically always been there with Weight Watchers, is just kind of like a side thing. They don't really like advertise it as much anymore, is the purple plan. And I had never tried that. I also love potatoes and pasta, but I don't make too many meals and rice and stuff. I don't make too many of my meals revolve around those things because I do like cauliflower rice. I do measure out my potatoes, things like that. So I thought that I would probably be able to find success on it and feel good about not having to track so many things. I hate having to enter so many things into a tracker. Honestly, a lot of things that are zero, I don't even enter it into a tracker, and that's same for recipes. That's a lot of the reason why I don't screenshot my recipe in the app for y'all, because there's tons of ingredients missing. Because if there's 0 points, I don't feel like wasting the time to go track them. I only add the ingredients that I know have points. So that is why I chose purple, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm tracking calories also just to make sure that I'm eating enough, because I'm like the person that's like, oh, you're out of points, stop eating. When in reality, I haven't eaten enough calories. I should be eating more 0 point foods. And even though I know that, it like is like a mind thing for me. So when I'm tracking my calories, I know, oh, you still need to eat 200 calories, but you're out of points. You better go reach for some 0 point foods, fruits or vegetables or something like that. Usually I'll go into like a weekly, if I want to do like carrots and ranch or something like that, just so I can have those, you know, I can eat my 0 point foods in the way that I like. But it helps me, counting the calories helps make sure that I'm eating those 0 point foods, because I've talked about this before. I don't love vegetables and I don't really love fruit. So it's like harder for me to like eat a ton of those things. Like I'm not mindlessly snacking on fruit. I'm mindlessly snacking on a bag of barbecue kettle chips. You know what I mean? So I think for my like mindset and the way that I work, purple was just the best option for me. So with that being said, I think that's the end of this Q&A. Thank you for sticking around. I know that it's going to be a long one. If you made it to the end, emoji, I don't know. Drop me your favorite emoji. What is your favorite one that you use all of the time? Maybe your most frequent emoji, or just one that you're like obsessed with. Mine is the disco man that's like, and he's in the purple outfit. He goes with the salsa girl. I love the salsa girl. I use her a lot, but the little man, I have like an obsession with him. I love him. He just makes everything funny to me. Like when I put the little dance man, it automatically becomes way funnier than it was. Anyways, leave me your favorite emoji down below. Thank you for watching another Vlogmas video. I hope you learned something about me. If you have any other questions, definitely leave them below. I try to respond to definitely all of the comments if they have questions in them specifically. And I try to acknowledge all of the emoji comments because I appreciate you so much. So subscribe if you'd like to stick around to my channel. Comment down below if you want to chat with me, and give this video a thumbs up if you're loving Vlogmas so far, whether it be mine or somebody else's. I appreciate the thumbs. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.